guys, it's Trina, and I haven't done a book haul since October, so I thought I would take a minute to show you what I have bought and what I currently have checked out from the library. Let's start with the books that I have purchased or been gifted. So first off, I attended Y'all Fest back in November, and in preparation for Y'all Fest and meeting some authors there, I purchased 3 books for myself that I loved, and I love the authors and I wanted to get them signed, but I didn't own them before. So the first of those was The Fifth Wave by Ricky Yancey. I'd be surprised if you don't know what this one is about, but it is an alien apocalypse survival story. I actually owned The Infinite Sea and had always planned to go back and collect the first book in the series, but I didn't do that yet. And going to Y'all Fest, Ricky Yancey was supposed to be there, and it turned out that Ricky Yancey canceled. He could not attend Y'all Fest because he was sick, so I didn't get this book signed, but now I have it, and I'm okay with that because I really love this first book. Also, in preparation for Y'all Fest, I purchased Just One Day by Gail Forman. I have already read this. I was just buying it to have it signed by Gail, and I ended up waiting in Gail's line for over an hour, and it like didn't move, and I got so tired of standing in that line that I ended up leaving and not getting this one signed, but that's okay because I've been wanting to own it anyway. If you don't know what this one is about, it is about a girl who goes to Paris, meets a guy, they have a wonderful single day together, and when she wakes up the next morning, he is gone, and she goes on this journey to find him, and in the process, she finds herself. And this book is one of my all-time favorite contemporary novels. It taught me so much about myself, and it gave me closure for things that I had experienced in the past. I absolutely love it. I'm so glad to add it to my collection. One day I will meet Gail and have her sign it. The next book I bought at Y'all Fest was Winter by Marissa Meyer, which is the 4th and final book in the Lunar Chronicles series, which if you don't know, I'd be surprised, but this is a series of sci-fi YA fairy tale retellings, Winter being a retelling of Snow White, and I did actually get this one signed by Marissa Meyer. Waited in her 2-hour long line. Of course it was worth it, it was fun, especially because I was waiting with friends. I don't own any other books in the Lunar Chronicles series yet. I want to someday, but I just bought this one because Marissa Meyer was going to be there and I wanted to have something for her to sign because I do really love this series. So my most recent purchase is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. This is a debut novel that came out last year. It is a YA contemporary story about a gay boy that is in an online relationship with another boy from his school, but neither of them know who the other one is because neither of them are out, and so they're dealing with their feelings for each other and also the potential of coming out. Definitely a self-discovery story, coming of age, first love. I got this book from the library and read it and loved it so much that I needed to buy it for myself because I love it that much. Like I said in my review for this book, I needed this in my life long term, and that's very much the type of reader I am. If you're new here, I read books from the library, and then if I like them, I go back and buy them to own them because I don't have a lot of space. I love this book so much that I immediately purchased it. But yeah, absolutely wonderful story. Definitely read it if you like love. I don't know, if you like things in life, but I love it, bought it, have it now. Here it is. There it is. See, Simon. Next, I have a book that I purchased with a Christmas gift card to Barnes & Noble. It was Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I've read her Grisha trilogy, and I've been wanting to read Six of Crows, and I checked it out from the library like 3 times, and I had to keep sending it back because people were in line for it and I couldn't keep rechecking it out, so I was like, fine, I'll just buy it. I'm planning to read this one soon, and it's that beautiful edition with the black pages, and there's a crow on the cover here. Dang it, I should have shown you guys some covers of these other ones, but that's that. The next book I've gotten recently was a very unexpected gift from the amazing Sarah Ella. I'll link her channel below, but she sent me like a Christmas package that I totally was not expecting, and she sent me a copy of Unravel Me by Tahereh Mafi because I actually own book 1 and book 3, but I never had gotten book 2. I don't even know how that happened. That's just how I am. I'm very sporadic with the books that I purchase. I have already read it. This is a YA paranormal kind of powers and abilities story with kind of a mix of a little bit of a psychological edge to it as well, especially in the first book. So now I have my lovely completed trilogy on my shelves. Now moving into the library books that I currently have out. I've missed several library books between like November and December and earlier in this month, so I'm just going to show you what I currently have. I picked up the last 2 books in the Mara Dyer trilogy by Michelle Hodkin. I've got The Evolution of Mara Dyer and The Retribution of Mara Dyer, and I buddy read both of these with Jordan from the Jordan Journals. I'll link her channel down below too. If you don't know what they're about, it's kind of a mix of paranormal and psychological thriller. I ended up really liking the series overall, and I do plan to have a series review up sometime soon. I also have Their Fractured Light. Is that what it's called? Yes, it is. I always get these titles confused. By Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, which is the third and final book in the Starbound companion trilogy. Sorry if I'm losing my voice a little bit here. I've been kind of sick lately, but this is primarily a romance series, but it's YA set in space, and these are going to be new characters, so I don't really know what storyline this is following, but the overarching storyline of the whole trilogy is that there's this evil space corporation and this weird breed of aliens, and I really want to see how it kind of plays out. Back in December when I saw Star Wars The Force Awakens, I was like in the mood for nothing but Star Wars for a while, so I actually checked out The Princess, the Scoundrel, and the Farm Boy by Alexandra Bracken, which is the original Star Wars trilogy being retold by popular YA authors. So Alexandra Bracken got the task of retelling episode 4 in YA story format. Next here I've got Career of Evil by Robert Galbraith, which is the pseudonym for J.K. Rowling. This is the third book in her adult mystery crime solving series. I really enjoyed these characters. I really loved book 2, and this is another case of I've had this book before and people can't get out of line for it and just leave me in peace and let me read the whole thing. So this is my second attempt at getting this book. You know, gruesome crime solving mysteries, and I like them, so book 3, it's gonna happen eventually. Next here I have Passenger by Alexandra Bracken, and I have already read this one. I finished it. I really enjoyed it, but it was hard to get into, and I'll talk more about that in my wrap-up. This is a story about YA time travel. Time travel is technically sci-fi, but it has a very fantasy and historical romance feel to it, and pirates. Really attractive pirates. You should probably know that about it. I also got Passenger's weirdly related book cousin, Truth Witch by Susan Dennard, because Susan and Alexandra are friends, and these both came out at the same time, and they both hit the New York Times bestseller list at the same time, and everybody is currently talking about these two books. So I did get Truth Witch also from the library. Haven't started it yet. Probably I'm gonna have to return it unread because this, like me in the library, or like that case of your eyes are bigger than your stomach when you like go to the food place and load up your plate and then you can't get to them all. That's me in books. It is a fantasy about witches, and the main character has the ability to know when someone is telling the truth, and she has a best friend that has some other kind of ability, but I've heard that this is pitched as a book about really good, strong female friendships, so that's primarily why I'm interested in reading this one, plus I love fantasy. Next I've got This Is Where It Ends by Marieke Nijkamp, and this is a book about a school shooting, and I believe the whole book takes place only over the course of just a few hours, like over the course of a school day, and we get different points of view by different students in the school and what they are seeing and witnessing as there's an active shooter on their school campus. And this just sounds like a really harrowing story, and I feel like it's really relevant to current events in the United States, so that's the reason why I am interested in checking it out. I also have The Heir and the Spare by Emily Albright. This is a debut novel. It's about a girl who is like living an ordinary life, and her mom either disappears or dies. Man, why do I not know things about books? Royal stuff, I'm not sure. I don't have a good grasp on it. I don't want to read too much about the summary because I want to just read the book. You know how that goes, but yeah, something about secret royalty and a love story, as there always is when someone is royal. We're at the end. The last book I have here is called First by Laurie Elizabeth Flynn, and from what I understand about this book, boys in relationships come to this one girl so that she can have sex with them and teach them tips for making their first time with their own girlfriends better and amazing. And there's supposedly some reason why this main character is doing this. Now, this synopsis sounds weird. It sounds like that's potential for a huge train wreck. But the reason that I added this to my want to read, to my radar at all, is because I saw Jamie over at the Perpetual Page Turner was reading it, and she reviewed it, and she said that there are some really good moments in it. It's one of those just morbid curiosities, like how could that possibly be good, but like maybe it would have a good message, but we will find out. So those are all the books that I have recently purchased or picked up from the library or had gifted to me. Thank you so much for watching this. Let me know what the last book that you recently picked up or purchased was. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the comments. Bye!